My goodness, hi. I never realize what I'm doing until like after I'm doing it. My design is really that I just live in the moment and I follow my intuition very, very strongly, and I trust myself and I just trust the journey and the process, and I'm really comfortable living out loud. So what I've realized is that over the last few days, you guys have literally watched me go through a deep vortex of healing and alignment and knowing deeper parts of myself. And I'm a manifesting generator, so I process very, very fast. I've been doing healing stuff like hard since I was 22 years old, and I'm 46 now. So that's a long time. And then I've been working on my alignment and awareness and intuition since, I was a little girl. As I've walked through this journey the last couple days, I've just been on a deep faith walk of going, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to keep walking and I'm going to keep doing what's in front of me and just feel all the way through it. So I realized in this process that it's like, okay, I knew I wasn't trying to prove myself. I remember healing from that and working through that in 2022, 2023. And then I've got to look at my notes. And I was trying to prove my capacity, but that also went away around the same time, where I just was like, no, like I have needs, I matter, I'm not a robot, I'm human. What was different though, the challenge was that my needs weren't actually heard. And so I can tell lots of people, hey, this is what I need. Hey, this is a good agreement. Hey, this is the deal where I want to make. And they'll agree to it and be just like, yeah. And then they won't hold up their end of the bargain. And this has been a consistent pattern throughout my life. And I thought it was a people picker problem. It's like you got to pick a better pecker because like it just happens so often where I express clearly what I want, what I need, what the agreement is, and then they just don't follow through. Turns out a lot of those people are probably 5 lines also, because there's projection fields. We're going to get to that in a second. I just could not figure out why I express my needs so clearly and then they're just not heard, especially since I quit yelling. So I quit yelling back like 16, 17 years ago with my kids. I had this very strong, I am not going to yell at them. I used a whistle for quite a while in order to get attention so that I could whisper and they could hear me, because I have 5 kids and that's a lot. And so I didn't want to yell, but sometimes I needed to get attention. Then about 7 or 8 years ago, after the hurricane, I decided I wasn't going to yell at all. I wasn't going to express emotion in anger. I was going to sit in myself and really work through those things and then express myself in a clear way. And where this really came out was in my relationship with Reed. And I just was like, no matter what, I'm just not going to yell. I'm going to control myself. I had this awakening where I was like, it takes 2 people to argue, and I don't like having to apologize. And that has been a continual like onion in and of itself of like, I just don't want to apologize for shit, which means I want to do less harm. And as I do less harm, that means I have to communicate more clearly. And the other side of that is taking no shit, which is that's what we're going through here. So my lack of loud expression, it really allowed me to find my alignment and state my needs, but it only added to the 6-line projection. So in human design, I'm a 6-2, and we have the 6 lines have a certain projection field, as do 5 lines. And part of that projection is people see me. It's not what I project. It's part of my auric field. Like, it's just how people interpret me. They interpret me as having everything together, as having all the answers, and this is common for 6 lines. I know lots of other people like this. So if you're a 6 line, this is a projection. It's not really you. It's not what you're doing. It has to do with boundaries, but not even boundaries, because it's more about agreements. So we're told we can do anything, we can handle anything. We're like the ones who have it all figured out, and we're just like, no, we don't have it figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, yeah, you do. And that's it. That's the projection, is that people see 6 lines as like having it all together or having things figured out. And sometimes no matter how loud we say, hey, no, I have problems and this, they just don't hear. And it's like, what the heck? They think we're just like endlessly full of strength and courage or wisdom or something. It varies based on what your chart is, but it's still this projection of people see me as an illusion of who I am. They see me as this highest self, and they're not seeing like the real and actual me. And it's like, yeah, I've done a lot of work. I know exactly where I'm very proficient, where I'm an expert at things, and then I know where I just have no clue. And I'll tell you the difference. Why? Because I'm self-aware. But that's not how people see me. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense, because it's not about proving myself. It's not about capacity. It's literally just how people see me. They don't see my humanness. They don't see my need. And if you're a 6 line, this is why. It's the projection field. To realign my energy, what I've been doing is cutting shit out like crazy. Every relationship that wasn't feeding me, I'm either cutting it out, redefining it, or cutting it out or redefining it. That's all I'm doing. Like, because this is fixing now. Like, that's what I've been doing. That's why I asked Reed to step back from functional human design. Well, first, before that, I had him move out of my 2 high-ticket programs. Then he was just in functional human design. And then I asked him to step back from functional human design. Like, I'm just renegotiating ideals with my kids, and we're going to get into kids and parenting in just a second, because this was the biggest breakthrough of them all that really relieved the guilt that I carry in my genetics. I forgot what they call it. It's basically the shadow. There's a word for it in human design, but my like life shadow is guilt. And I am prone to guilt. And when I fall into that trap of feeling guilty, shit gets really ugly for me. So in my realignment of energies, it's like, okay, if I've told you more than once that this is what I need, it very quickly is just going to be, I'm not working with you, I'm not talking with you. Because if you don't listen to me and believe me, then we're going to have a problem, because that is the projection field that you're seeing, or anyone is seeing when looking at a 6 line. It comes down to agreements, and this is where it's so strong in my chart, that 3740, and this is the background frequency, not just for me, but for the entire planet, for the cross of planning that we've been in since 1615. We've been in this cross of planning that has this tribal bargain agreement. I take care of you, you take care of me. And that's why our infrastructures are failing all over, is because these tribal agreements are saying, hey, I've been feeding you, I've been paying taxes, but you're not taking care of me. Hey, I've been taking care of the family. I've been doing the dishes, doing the laundry, doing the grocery shopping. I've been doing all these things, and I haven't done all that shit for years. But that's generally what's going on in the world, and why so many divorces are happening, because women are saying, hey, you guys haven't been holding up your end of the deal. And so you need to hold it up or we're leaving. And that's why so many women especially are initiating divorces, because they're seeing that their marriages, their relationships are not reciprocal. Now, where this got really interesting for me is I have 5 kids. And I have raised them very, very differently than most families, because like circumstances just happened. Like, we're quite neuroquirky. We're very spicy, or whatever you want to call it. I'm autistic as fuck. If we're looking at those types of labels, it really, I am just all of me. And that does not fit into the current world. I am all of me, and that does not fit into the cross of planning. This is what's coming. The way I live my life is the cross of the sleeping phoenix, and that is what everyone on the planet, the whole planet, is shifting to. This raw, vulnerable, like, I really know these things, and I'm really fucked up over here. And, also, my weight and smoking cigarettes. These 2 things have it hinged on me trying to be relatable to people. It's because I have been working on my emotional well-being, my healing process, like how to communicate, relationships, raising kids. I've been working on all this shit for so fucking long that I needed some way to be relatable. And smoking and being fat is a great way to do that because it's external and it keeps people away from me. Because it was a different type of boundary that I was needing. Because the boundaries that I've had are like the standard boundaries. They weren't projection boundaries. Like I've never heard anyone talk about projection boundaries. Like, is that a thing? It is now. So I have somehow in my 6-line intuition, like what happened to me when I was younger, throughout all the abuse, the trafficking, all that stuff, I somehow decided that I was going to live life in a different way. And in doing so, I have spent the last 24 years preparing my children for a world that does not exist yet. It does not exist yet. It will exist. It's on its way. That's what the Sleeping Phoenix is a world where, like the old world, let's start there. The old world is based off obedience and fixed jobs, like getting your 401k and a watch and that kind of shit. It's based on unquestioned hierarchy. It's based on just listening to the authorities over us. And that is what is crumbling. This Phoenix frequency, this era that we're moving into for the next 400 years. So this is, those extra hairs. This isn't going away. It's only coming in stronger. It's the energy of self-direction. Being self-led, being self-disciplined, taking personal responsibility for who you are. It's for emotional literacy, being aware of your emotions, knowing how to process them. Do you have loud emotions or not? What's your solar plexus like? What gates do you have? Like, how can you process your emotions? Because we either feel other people's like a big ass sponge, or we have them so loud they impact everyone around us. And learning how to regulate emotional frequencies and use emotion as a motor, because your emotions aren't just a wave that anger or frustration moves you. All of your emotions move you forward. And so being able to use emotion as an awareness center is the next frequency. And so I have been literally for like 16 years training and teaching and unschooling my kids for a frequency that isn't even here yet, but it's coming, and it's coming in strong. The other part of it is understanding marketing, and marketing not as, I'm going to give you 7 tips and you can recognize narcissism in 3 simple ways. It's not like that. It's marketing as self-expression. It's marketing with who you are. It's a being in the world. Because, when I had this huge epiphany again this morning in regards to gene keys. And gene keys refers to the line 6 as the visionary. And human design refers to line 6 as the role model. And I always preferred the visionary language, but it wasn't until I understood the 6-line projection that any of this made sense, because visionary is partially a projection of the 6th line, because it paints the illusion that we have our shit together. It's the role model is not someone who is above it all on the roof and has shit figured out. The role model, the 3rd season of the role model 6th line, is being able to be so fucking bold and live publicly with all of your guts in the process. That's what the role model is. We don't teach from a place of authority. We teach as we're in the trenches doing the work. And financially, it's been difficult because I have been trying to bridge a world between the old world and the new world. My financial setbacks are temporary. I know it now more than ever. I can see what I could not see. I have all the shame of parenting and not giving my kids standard things like homecoming and proms and school and like sports in that way, all of that shame just lifted because my kids might not have had those things, but they are prepared and they are ready for the shift in this world because what they need is that self-leadership, that self-direction, that personal responsibility that I have given them by teaching them to be responsible for themselves and empowered in who they are and collaborative and on a team. The challenge that we've had was that Reed just didn't fucking believe me. He believes the projection and hasn't listened. 5 line, makes agreements, says they're going to do something. Don't do it. Don't follow through. And I haven't understood this element because the whole world just tells us all different things. Like, oh, you're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to prove your capacity. No, I'm literally just not being heard. And then half the time he does do what I ask him to do. He does make big windfalls of money. And it does happen. So it's like this weird push-pull that doesn't even need to exist. It doesn't need to exist. It's because I am viewed as in a certain way that I am viewed as this role model, and I now know how to break the projection, and it's real simple. It's like we don't have a relationship of any form. I don't work with you. I'm not partners with you. I'm sure as hell not sleeping with you. If we do not have reciprocal agreements, if we are not like mutually benefiting from this agreement, we are not playing. If you are not on my vibe, I am not polite because I politely call things out. And then if you don't politely respond in a way that suits me and you, then I politely ask you to leave. It's real simple. I am so fucking stoked because we might not have fit in for the last ever years, but what's coming, I know how to navigate this. I feel it deep in my soul, and it's wild. It's hard. Like, it's being real and honest and vulnerable and loud about who you are, whatever that may be. Like, you might not be loud with your mouth like me because I've got a main line from my sacral to my throat, but you're loud in some way because all of us take up space on this planet, and we need to take up space. We need to honor ourselves and honor the relationships that we have, because that is going to be how we thrive in this new world. Whoo! I love you tons. I know this will resonate with the people it resonates with, and for everyone else, they scrolled a long time ago. So I love you tons, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.